couple weeks to just calling a lot of screens. You know, Zappe came in that game, and I think they've been so concerned and so distraught over the giveaways in those critical situations that they just started throwing screens. So at least they'd have a chance to run with the ball after the catch, but they've been allergic to throwing the ball downfield.
Stevenson will pick up maybe a couple of yards here. Last week, Stevenson's season high 98 rushing yards. He's averaged over 90 rush yards over the last 3 weeks. Which, as you look at this offense, just try to find any kind of bright spot.
Yeah.
And it has been Stevenson of late.
Well, you look at it, really started against the Colts, and when they're at their best, it looks like there's a flag. Trent Brown is.
Offense. Five-yard penalty. Just second down.
Trent Brown was jogging off the field, and so.
And Arch, this is something that Belichick hinted at in our conversation with him on Friday, with Brown dealing with the injuries, that we would see Connor McDermott, and here a little bit of a late sub.
Yeah, too many men in the huddle, and then you see Trent Brown, he jogs off.
So certainly not the sound operation that Belichick demands, and that really has been the kind of season it's been here for the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious, but this is not an offense that can afford to have negative plays. And those pre-snap penalties now at 2nd and 14.
So McDermott on at left tackle, a guy that they signed to their practice squad back in October. Zappe zips a pass, it's complete. Juju Smith-Schuster desperately need him to get himself going in what has been a minimal impact first year here with the Patriots. They pick up 11 here to set him up with the 3rd and short.
Yeah, and really, again, we keep referencing what happened last year when Zappe was the quarterback. What I saw when he came in the game last year, he was quick and decisive. There wasn't a lot of hesitation, and so the ball came out. And really, I think that's what you want to see here early. Can he get the ball out and make those fast decisions? Give his receivers a chance to make a play.
This is when he's got to make his money to get them to move the sticks. It's Stevenson chiseling his way through the defense. Ramondre Stevenson, physical runner, 6 feet, nearly 230 pounds. He picks up 7, finally tackled by Gilman.
Yeah, and I don't know how he ends up getting through the line of scrimmage. You're going to see Khalil Mack. He has a chance. There is a lot of traffic, and really there is not 3 inches of daylight right there, but that's what you've seen from him and Zeke Elliott here in the last few games. That hard running style really brings a physical element to this offense.
Pitch play here, Stevenson running off tackle as we go downstairs to Aditi. Aditi, you spoke to Stevenson.
I did, and Spiro, you mentioned it earlier how this has been a very un-Patriots-like season, that it's been somewhat frustrating. But Stevenson said every time he gets even a little frustrated, he remembers back to when he was in high school, and this was a far-fetched dream. So far-fetched, Spiro, because after high school, he worked the overnight shift at Walmart, moving pallets. Being in the NFL was a pipe dream.
Yeah, Didi, great stuff. He's been such a feel-good story. Collegiate in Oklahoma. They took him in the 4th round of 2021. What a player he's turning into. Zappe's going to run for it. Extends to the line to gain. Let's see where the officials mark him here. Appears to be short by about 1 yard plus, as everyone was covered down the field. And once again, Patriots going tempo as they get to the line of scrimmage quickly. Now the officials are going to blow the whistle. Looks like Brandon Staley is going to take a timeout here.
First charge timeout, Los Angeles.
With 7:04 left, Staley trying to.
It's what they've done the last 2 games, and it was working quite well. But again, it was when they got into the red zone and those critical plays that led to the Patriots moving the ball but not getting any points.
Stevenson, another first down run. As he will get close to the 35, maybe a little bit short. One thing to point out, Malik Cunningham is active today for only the 2nd time this season for the Patriots. And all signs indicate that he does have a package of plays in their offense today with Bill O'Brien. And so we do expect to see him at some point. There he is listening to the calls, trying to stay dry down on that Patriot sideline. Cunningham, remember, quarterback, collegiate lead Louisville. Immediately moved him over to wide receiver after they took him and signed him as an undrafted first-year player.
Good place here to alert play action after getting a first down.
Play action. Zappe. Mack is right in his face. Zappe escapes, tucks it away, and lunges forward, gets down to the 31-yard line. Boy, didn't have much of a chance to get his feet set with Khalil Mack right there. Ends up running for 5.
No, really, I mean, they might have had a chance to have something going on downfield, but you see Mack, and that quick inside pressure. And Mack has had such a good season. He is just the all-around player. We mentioned Keenan Allen, how special of a season he's having at 31 years old, but Mack playing as good as he ever has against the run and the pass.
All 53 of their yards have come on the ground so far. Stevenson lit up in the backfield. Football came loose. Who's got it? LA says they do, with Tui Pelotu falling on it. No signal yet officially, and now they say Chargers football. And Stevenson now late to get to his feet. Boy, Tui Pelotu, this kid really turning.
Nice move inside but really, that's kind of a version of the hip drop tackle that we're hearing so much about. But, normally that comes from behind. That time he was in front of Stevenson, but still dropped his body weight behind. That is not a good look for the Patriots offense.
And it's got to hurt the Patriots just from a psychological standpoint. You got one of the bright spots for their offense, and to see him limp off as the hits just keep on coming for Belichick in New England. 3rd and 2 as we come up on the final 3 minutes before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, this time Keenan Allen is here at the top, and again, it doesn't appear as if the Patriots have any sort of double, opting to go with zone.
Run play, they're going to be short. Joshua Kelly just barely able to get to the line of scrimmage. As New England's defensive front getting the push, Jelani Tavai, who's been terrific for Belichick in this defense, was there.
Well, really, and it was Jabril Peppers who just came in and knifed. He was able to beat that block, but the way he just knifed in from that second level and got into that backfield shows exactly why Peppers has become one of the best run players here in the National Football League.
So here's J.K. Scott. 33 punts have been fair caught. That's most in the NFL this season. Miles Bryant is going to let this one bounce right around the 10. And it is beautifully down by the Chargers special teams. 54 yards on the punt by Scott. Perfectly. We'll check in with Didi.
Spiro, Ramondre Stevenson, as you saw, was taken directly into the locker room. He is questionable with an ankle injury. Now, Jabril Peppers was also taken into the tent, but we've seen him come out of that. So we'll get you an update on that as soon as we have one.
All right, Aditi, the two guys that they just can ill afford to lose. And this good initial news, at least on Peppers. So 2nd and 4 as they play from their own 12. Smith-Schuster in motion. Zappe faking for big blitz pickup on Elliott, giving Zappe a chance, and it's incomplete. Hunter Henry, the former Charger, wasn't a pretty pass, but that's one he's got to squeeze.
Well, you saw Henry at the end of the route. He took his eyes off of Zappe, and watch Henry as he comes across the field. Number 85 right here. Watch, he's going to just look to the sideline, and right when he looks to the sideline, he takes his eyes off of Zappe, and it looks like he doesn't even expect the ball to be there. The ball is well behind, but that's one I think if Zappe was able to hit him early in the route, they had an opportunity.
Or maybe even a tougher catch to make, looking at that vantage point, as they miss a chance. 3rd and 4. Zappe steps up, pump fakes, a little bit short, and it's incomplete. May have been deflected right at the release point as he tries to locate Smith-Schuster. Good coverage and good pressure coming from that Chargers defense with Eric Kendricks.
Yeah, and again, I think this is just experience and getting the feel of it, because as he climbs this pocket, you're going to see Smith-Schuster. He comes open, but he just sees him at the last minute, or at the last moment, and the ball just doesn't come out of his hands cleanly enough.
So Davis back to return here. Behringer's punt is a beauty. And it's going to take a bounce inside the 20. Now they're going to mark this football down right around the 18-yard line. It's a 71-yard putt by Behringer.
You know, some of their key weapons in this game. There's no Mike Williams. There's no Joshua Palmer. And so they've got to get the ball to Keenan Allen. And you see just how often they have to move him because they get him the ball so much. And it really makes it tough on a defense to key in on where he is.
Herbert second and short. They're going to get it. Everett has some green grass in front of him. Taking on tacklers hard. Collision right at the 50. With the first big play for either team. They pick up 25. Finally tackled by Peppers and Mapu from New England.
Really a miscommunication by both safeties. Duggar and Mapu were responsible for both of the tight ends on one side. They both take one tight end and then let Everett free across the middle.
Herbert's going to quicken the pace here as they go tempo. Fresh set of downs. And we get some movement pre-snap as the Chargers try to get off one more play before the end of the quarter.
Full start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
With Zion Johnson, their young second-year left guard, moving prematurely. So 2 seconds left in the quarter, and they're going to mark him back at the 45-yard line. And they will run off the remaining time to take us to the end of the quarter. So the Chargers and the Patriots, we expected low scoring in this kind of weather. And both offenses still looking for their first point. Able to locate Keenan Allen as he works far side. It's a pickup of 16 as he works against Jonathan Jones. First down.
Well, you always talk about trust between quarterback and wide receiver, and it is clear that the trust is right there for these two, and they can work against any coverage. They allow Keenan Allen to look at the leverage of the defender, and more times than not, both he and Herbert always on the same page.
First catch of the day for Keenan Allen. Herbert all day to throw up the sideline, and it's incomplete. Donald Parham, the intended receiver, a little bit high with that pass. But once again, Herbert giving his guy a chance as they work on Duggar.
Well, he goes there late. They were looking for somebody across the field, and I'm a little surprised that he didn't throw the ball down the field, but he sees Duggar his back to the quarterback and puts the ball in the only place where his receiver has a chance to try to come down with it, but he wanted to go somewhere deeper down the field.
See Herbert's early numbers, 4 of his first 6 as they try to turn the page after that disheartening performance last week, just 10 points against the Ravens. Herbert, everyone covered down the field, rolls out to try to buy himself some time, just tucks it away. Will pick up maybe a half yard as he's run out of bounds by Keon White. But what a year it's been for Keenan Allen. Began the day 11 catches away from a new franchise record for catches in a season. But it's just been incredible in terms of percentage of offense that he has generated for his team.
It's rare you saw running backs, Christian McCaffrey and Jacobs, really rare for a receiver to have that much production. It just shows how much they have missed Mike Williams since he's been out of the offense.
Tough 3rd and 9 here. But on the outside of their field goal range, Herbert's pass is incomplete. Jalen Guyton, the intended receiver, and it was Duggar once again on the tight coverage for New England.
Yeah, and this is, a little bit of a miscommunication, because you see Guyton, he just goes to sit it down because he sees an inside defender and just not quite on the same page as Herbert and Keenan Allen.
Staley trying to think of what to do here. Would be about a 56-yard field goal in this kind of weather conditions. Unlikely success. And so he sends out his punt unit with J.K. Scott. And back deep is Bryant for the Patriots. Let's see what Scott has done so far. Fair catch signaled for Bryant. And once again, Scott. Money in the bank for the Chargers, as he's going to pin New England back. New England, it has been ugly. They get their turnover there with the Stevenson fumble. We saw him limp off the field as they continue to examine him inside their locker room. And once again, tough starting field position for the Patriots. They begin inside the 10. Zappe over the middle. Gets it to Elliott, who suddenly becomes their workhorse. And is quickly tackled after the catch. There's Brandon Staley, embattled Chargers head coach. It's been a stressful few weeks. A couple of sparring sessions that he's had with the local media, having to answer some tough questions. They do get their first takeaway, Arch, in 4 weeks, but it's been a long year for Staley.
Yeah, and I already sort of talked about it with Justin Herbert. Really, a lot of their losses have come down to, in critical moments at the end of games, the defense just not able to make that play. And in fact, having an assignment error or something go wrong that really allows the other football team to score at the end. So they just haven't figured out a way to get the right formula and put the right answers on the paper.
Their defense last week against one of the more explosive offenses in the league really performed well. They limited Lamar Jackson in that offense for the most part before Zay Flowers made some plays late.
Well, the thing that stood out is really the explosive plays were, until that last play, the explosive plays were down. And that's something that really, they've had too many of the explosive plays, both run and pass, against this defense.
Another job right there as they penetrate the backfield. Morgan Cox able to wrap up Elliott. They lose yardage to force another punt.
Well, this time Fox, who really, he's been playing well. He's going to stunt to the inside. The line is moving to the left, and then he's just going to stunt to the inside, and he just comes away unblocked. And really, he's starting to become one of the key players on this team. He's really started to come alive this year here in the last few games.
Bearing a tough set of circumstances there as Davis fields it off of bounds. That is run out of bounds inside New England territory. We'll see where they mark the football here. Rodney Harrison, Vince Wilfork, part of all their championship teams here over the years, and of course Antonio Gates. Terrific play on that third down by Morgan Fox, able to penetrate. Goes back all the way to the LA Rams with Brandon Staley trying to help turn their season. He's given the football now to Justin Herbert and company to begin at the New England 47. Play action. Fake. He goes to the check. Eckler. Eckler has a couple of blockers. He's got a first down and more. There's a penalty marker thrown all the way across the field, near side on the Chargers side of the field. It's a pickup of 11 if it sticks. And here's the call from Bill Vinovich.
There is no foul for ineligible receiver downfield. Second down.
All right, so the play stands.
Result of the play is a first down.
And Arch, that's where Eckler's made his bones over the years. So dangerous as a pass catcher.
I think they were checking to see if we'd get Zion Johnson downfield.
Officials decide to pick up the flag. So first down connection, Herbert to Eckler. As they play now just inside the New England 37. Herbert under heavy pressure, fires, completes. That's the rookie Quentin Johnston, who has been much maligned this season. Johnston, of course, under fire a little bit with what has been really a minimal impact first season after they used the 21st overall pick to take him in front of some other receivers, Arch, that have had really prolific first years so far around the NFL.
Yeah, and look, there have been some pretty good receivers. And last week, only 3 targets, had a 7-yard catch. Left the game with some hurt ribs in the third quarter. But just, it's taken him a little bit of time. You know, the quick impact that they were looking for just hasn't happened yet this year for Quentin Johnson.
Eckler on a first down run, and the disappointing part, Arch, is that they needed someone else to step into that with the absence of Mike Williams. Of course, then they lose Joshua Palmer with that knee injury. He's been out since week 8, and so there's been such a void that they just have not been able to fill till this point. It's Davis in motion. Pitch play here to Eckler on first down. Eckler, the cutback, able to get close to the 20. Then you got Eckler, Arch, who had that high ankle sprain early part of the season. And it's really taken him all these weeks since to get back physically to where he's been. This guy has been electrifying in this offense the last few years.
Well, he had the 117 yards in week 1. Then, he missed the games. And really, as far as the run game, he's only had 10 attempts rushing the football in their last 2 games. I would love to see him used more, much like we saw last season, out of the backfield.
Herbert towards the end zone, broken up. Beautifully done by Jalen Mills as Herbert tries to locate Everett. And it will be 3rd and 6.